Good evening, guys. It's KB5MIQ Big Boy. We've got a mailbag question we're going to try to answer tonight to the best of my ability. Bill KF0 November, Quebec sent me a question in and asked me about ways to get Coax, electrician in me's coming out, sorry, Coax into your house without having to drill holes. So, there's several options you can do. There's several options I've done over the years. It depends on the house I was living in at the time. First got to be a ham. I lived in an old house, and I brought the coax in through the back porch, and I had a closet I built onto the back of the house, on the back porch, and I was able to bring it through the door into my desk there by the closet. Living in this redneck mansion, i.e. double wide, they put a what looked like a speaker in the master bedroom down by the floor. It's called a decompression vent. It's supposed to be helping a tornado, which I don't much think that a decompression 4-inch decompression vent would help that much if a tornado's that close to your house. So I just turned mine into a pass-through for coax when I had after I got divorced from my first wife, I set my shack back up in the master bedroom and brought my coax in that way. Didn't have to drill any holes. Just sealed it up on the outside for keeping my air going in. Now I'm going to have a picture on here of how I brought mine in. And when I moved my shack into this other bedroom, I seriously looked at the MFJ pass-throughs, and of course the bad thing about them, they're not available anymore. I know MTC had a month ago, he had one or two in his used gear, so it's always good to check with them on them. They made a pass-through mounted on a 1x6 that you could trim to fit your window, and then you just let your window down on it. It had a metal plate with different weights, different SO239s, and I think it may have had a rotor, place to run rotor wire or whatever through it, and so on like that. And they work good. Now, I almost bought one, but the reason I didn't, these windows in this redneck mansion opened low in the bedroom. They opened pretty low to the ground. And when you got a table in front of them, you'd have to reach way down behind to hook anything up. And I didn't like that. So what I did, I cut a sheet of treated plywood, opened my window all the way, and put a block in it where nobody could raise it up any higher to get this plywood out to get access to the house. Sealed it in with silicone on the sides. And then I mounted a piece of 6 or 8 inch aluminum angle that I spaced 6 even holes out in and put the long double SO239 like a big barrel connector, but they're about that long, and they got nuts and the washers on them, and I just put them in like that. And I'll have a picture at the end of this video of it. And I leave my antennas cooked to the outside, and I even drilled through it and put a piece of all thread through it to where I could hook a ground wire to the outside and ground my gear through it like that on the inside. And it works real good. It works real good. In fact, I'm going to do a little different version of it when I switch to this next room, and I might be in it by next weekend if everything keeps going the way it's going. I've got the room emptied. But on my next time I use the thing though, I'm going to take a piece of OSB board and completely cover my outside windows. Now bear in mind, they're facing the back of the house. I got an understanding wife. She doesn't worry about my ham radio. And I'm not trying to win yard of the month, and I don't live in an HOA. And it's going to be under an awning. Nobody can see them. And the reason I'm going to completely cover those windows in an effort to try to slow down air from coming in them. The problem I've had with this, air still seeped around the edges and kind of kept the room a little cool. So I'm going to try to do that differently. But I'm going to use the same pass-through, and there'll be a picture of it at the end of this video. And I just made it myself. Used a piece of aluminum angle, about that long, spaced out the holes, bought the connectors. I think I got them all at MTC, and built it myself. Tim used a electrical fitting called a LB, which is a right angle box with a lid on it, and he run through his window like that, run his coax in, set the window down on it, and just sealed it off with wood and filled the hole up with tile to keep air from getting in it. There's lots of ways you can work this out to where you can get your coax in the house, hopefully without drilling holes in your house. Several other ways I've seen people do it. They might go into the attic. If there's a way to get the coax into the attic, maybe through the outside vent with a small hole, and then come down through the closet with a hole in the sheetrock, which in the closet you can seal it back up with damp real easily and it wouldn't be noticeable. And bring the coax in and bring it out the door to the if your radio desk was close enough to your closet door for it to work. But there's some things that I've seen offered now that, and I'm sure, I'll tell you what, if anybody's used these and they work, be sure and comment and I will mention it in another video. When I've seen these real flat connectors with a SO239 on both ends and said window pass through where you can lower the window down on this flat piece of wire and it's supposed to still let your signal go through. I ain't sure about that. Especially the windows on this double wide, they actually seal down into a trough. I don't much think that would work. I don't know. That don't look good to me. It might work fine. Evidently, it works good enough for them to be marketed, but personally, I would look at other options before I tried that. And I've also seen glass mount mobile antennas where it would mount on the glass and supposedly send the signal through the glass and connect to the inside. I don't know. I've heard of people having trouble with them. A lot of people say they work good. Again, will it handle the amperage, the wattage you're wanting to put out, and handle the band that you're wanting to put out? Look at different options. I'm sure there's other YouTubers that's done whole videos on how they brought their stuff in. There's many ways to try to figure out a way to do it without drilling holes. But I highly recommend, if you raise a window at all, get above the window with a block of wood that will keep anybody from raising the window up any higher, and put a screw in it where it won't fall out, to where they can't reach up and shake it out, but it'll block the window from being raised up any higher. It might avoid having a break-in. Bill, thanks for the question. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to answering questions. If y'all send in mailbag questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them. Again, everything I answer is a suggestion or how I did it. There's not going to sit there and tell y'all how you should be doing it. I want you to make your own decision. Just trying to give you some advice and some direction on what to do. The pictures of the LB and the pictures of my fixture will be mounted at the end of this video. Guys, we're at 1750 subscribers. I appreciate it. Never thought I would have got this many. I appreciate y'all listening to me, and I enjoy doing these for y'all. Remember Main Trading Company, I saw Richard posted he bought another couple of estates out. If he doesn't have the used gear listed on the website, call the store and ask them specifically for something you're looking for, and let them know, and they may be able to tell you where they've got it or not. So check in like that. If you call them and you heard about it here, tell them you heard about it on Big Boy's YouTube channel. Yeah, I'd appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. This is KB5MIQ Big Boy 73.